Hello. Good evening. These are just cover over your regular glasses, sunglasses, which are very cool. A generous gift from my wife because contacts. Anyways, this is part 2. Welcome. Sorry, wherever you're at, whenever you're at. Thank you for coming to this channel. I welcome you with open arms. And I just ask that you be blessed wherever you're at, whenever you're at. And let's start digging in. I'm going to reach back here. Hopefully I can get it. Because I forgot it. I brought 2 Bibles with me today, folks. My heavy-duty one and my one that was given to me by my beloved, which is a Ryrie study Bible. It's a good Bible. So is all my Bibles. All my Bibles are good. If you have a bad Bible, I don't know what that is. So you can comment down there on the bottom. Don't forget we are having a contest for comments. Spread the word. Share the link. Share my channel, please, as often as you possibly can with folks that. And it could be a simple conversation. Let me help you out with that. It'll be like, "Hi, friend. How are you doing today? Hey, do you read the Bible every day?" No, I know this guy that does, and he encourages us to listen to him. Here's his link. Bink. And you could even Google it. You could even go on YouTube and search "Bowlin' Through the Bible." It's bowling without no G. No G. Just BOWLIN. Through, spelled correctly, THROUGH, the Bible. Bam! Pull up his channel. You just start watching him. He's okay. I hope you have better words than that. But if you don't, thank you for the kind words. So all right. Don't forget you're reading Proverbs also. That's part of your homework. I hope you are reading it, because if you're reading Proverbs, I will guarantee this: you are getting smarter and more wise. And who doesn't want to be more wise? Especially if you're younger. And older too. As I get older, I like being more wise. Am I centered? I feel like I'm not. Hang on a second. It's little things. I try to maintain. All right. Genesis chapter, I think we're 16, right? It's like at the front. So that's kind of the cool part. We're still at the beginning. Yes, 16. Okay, so this is going to be read out of the NIV. I always do this every time. I know this one is NIV, but I double check anyways just to make sure I'm not a liar. I don't want to lie. Okay, so it's NIV. Genesis chapter 16. Let's begin. Now, Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, but she had an Egyptian maidservant named Hagar. So she said to Abram, I'm sorry, it's the birds in the background. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're going nuts. They're like, caw, caw. And there's like 2 of them back and forth. It's funny. Okay. And now they're quiet to make me a liar. That's awesome. Okay. So, let's see. She had no children, but she had an Egyptian maidservant named Hagar. So she said to Abram, "The Lord kept me from having children. Go sleep with my maidservant. Perhaps I can build a family through her." Abram agreed to what Sarai said. Okay, isn't that man kind of interjecting in God's plan, right? It's like, don't we do that? We sit there and we go, "The Lord said this," like if you're childless, right? This is, in this case, Abram. They were talking about it over the fire, like, "The Lord told me I was going to have children through my own body." And so a woman's sitting there thinking, through his own body. Well, that doesn't mean me. Well, I know what the Lord meant. He meant my maidservant. Right? And we kind of throw that in there thinking, well, this must be God's will, so here it goes. And to be fair to her, it wasn't really clear that she was going to bear them, right? Bear children. I don't remember now. That was a while ago. That was like a whole chapter ago. Anyways, look him up. Or go back to the first one. Go back to 15 and listen to that one again. Give me another view on that. That would be nice. Let's see. So, we're interjecting into God's plan here. Like, oh, man, So here we go. So she's like, "Hey, sleep with my maidservant. It's fine. I'll just have children through her." Abram agreed to what Sarai said. Well, of course. Makes sense, right? This is the second time man has agreed with women. I'm just bringing this up. Agreed with a woman And let's see what happens, right? The first time was with Eve. Remember? He agreed and he got in trouble. So after Abram had please don't hate on me. I heard you. Jeez. Okay. Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years. Sarai, his wife, took her Egyptian maidservant, Hagar, and gave her to her husband to be his wife. Okay, so it took some time for this to develop, right? He slept with Hagar, and she conceived. So she's, going to have a baby. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. So when she was pregnant, she was like, well, to be fair, she's no longer a mistress. He married her, right? It says there that he took him on as a wife, took her on as a wife. So they're supposed to be equal. Now she despises her because she probably was, I don't know if she's mistreated or what, or maybe, I don't know. Then Sarai said to Abram, you are, let's see, I'm sorry, go back. I lost my place. So Sarai said to Abram, you are responsible for all the wrong I'm suffering. So she's getting the suffering from what was her name again? The mistress. And so she's getting these problems from the mistress, and then she's like, Abram, you're the fault. That figures, right? Blaming man. It was your idea. And I put my servant, remember, every time you put a comment, you get entered into a Starbucks gift card drawing. This is an opportune time. I'm loading it up for you, ladies, today. I'm loading bear. We're loaded for bear. You just dive in those comments. Okay, Sarah said, you are, let's see, I'm sorry, okay, go back. I can already feel the heat coming on. Let's see, okay, let's just go back a little bit here. Okay, Canaan 10 years, Sarah's wife took her Egyptian maidservant, Hagar, that's her name, Hagar, and gave her to her husband to be his wife. Okay, we got that clear. He slept with her and she conceived. But when she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. Then Sarai said to Abraham, you are responsible for all the wrong I'm suffering. I put my servant in your arms, and now that she knows she is pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. I wonder why, it's kind of a question. Let's dig a little there. Why does Hagar despise Sarai? Right? Well, she was a maidservant for a while with Sarai. So she got elevated to wife, right? So did she still expect her to take on maidservant duties? Or because she was pregnant, here's the other thing. She got pregnant. That was the key, right? So where's the heir going to come from? Hagar's line, not Sarai's line. So this is a big thing in culture back then. You're passing down your possessions that you got from your fathers, your grandfathers, whatever, and so it's got to pass down to kin, right? And so that's the kin. And it's funny because it was going to go to a head servant, right? His head servant, when the Lord approached him and said, hey, you're going to have great kids, and he's like, how am I? Abram's like, I'm childless. What are you talking about? My servant is going to inherit it. So it went from that guy. Now it went to another servant, maidservant, which is now Hagar, because Sarai suggested it. Another opportunity comment. And then, now she's blaming, Abram. Why'd you do that? Oh my gosh, now she's going to inherit it. Well, that was kind of the plan, right? So anyways, that's what they thought the plan was. Let's keep going. Let's figure this out. Your servant is in your hands, Abram said. Do with her whatever you think is best. Abram's had enough. He's like, you know what? It's fine. She was your maidservant. She's your servant. So he kind of doesn't even acknowledge her as wife. It's more of I don't think the love is there. I think it was just more I got to have a baby and you're the vessel. So there you go. Okay, baby. This is my wife. Oh, well, she's your servant. Do with her what you want. It's kind of not very nice of Abram. Abram, he's kind of upheld in the Bible as a big figure, high figure, and the more I think we get to know him, the more it's what? You lied about Sarai being your wife. Then you took on Sarai's advice and have a kid with this maidservant. And now you're telling her, just go do your thing. Was he watching too much football or something? He was just so busy in his dealings. He's like, whatever, just go. We need to do this. So he lied. He, I don't know. I just, kind of question the character here. All right, so your servant is in your hands, Abram said. Do with her whatever you think is best. And Sarai mistreated Hagar, so she fled her. She must have really mistreated her to flee from camp, to flee from home, and decide to go somewhere else while being pregnant. Okay, so that's the other thing I was I had a thought. Oh well. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was a spring that is beside the road of Shur. And he said, Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going? I am running away from my mistress, Sarai said. She answered. Then the angel of the Lord said to her, go back to your mistress and submit to her. The angel added, I will so increase your descendants that they will be too numerous to count. Maybe this was the Lord's will. Maybe it was supposed to happen this way. Interesting. The angel of the Lord also said to her, you are now with child, and you will have a son. You will have a son. Period. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of men. I don't know if I like that. Your son is going to be a wild donkey among men. You know anything about wild donkeys? They're wild, man. They're stubborn, mean. They're mean. Okay. For the Lord has heard your misery. So he will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone. He's not going to make friends very easily. And everyone's hand will be against him. So he's hurt a lot of feelings. Probably broke a lot of laws or something. Who knows? He will live in hostility toward all his brothers. So it's acknowledged here. The angel acknowledged that, hey, he's got brothers, but he's going to be hostile to all of them. He ain't going to have no friends. So she gave his name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me, for she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. That is why the well was called Ber Lahi Roi. It is still there between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael. So, the name, why is that important? That name is important because, she saw the Lord. It says the angel of the Lord. Saw the angel of the Lord. She didn't die. So she, that's why it was important for her to name that there. Because she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. And that is why the well is called this. Okay, so, she's seen the one who's seen her. She's met God face to face. Very fascinating, right? Kind of cool aspect to think about. Here's an angel of the Lord that came in, right? Started talking to people, talked to Abram, talked to her. So the same guy, same being, let's call it a being. Not sure what it is or who it is, which is an angel. We assume what angels are. Interesting though, And does God take many forms? He can be whatever he wants, right? So interesting. We'll put that in there because I think we'll find out later on. I know in one spot he shows his full glory to somebody, but he tells them up front, you can't see my whole glory. You'll die. So I'm only going to put you in a crevice of a rock. I'm going to hide you, and you can see my backside, right? So I think we'll learn about that one. That was a good one. All right, so or did we already talk about that? See, that's the problem with a lot of the Bible. Sometimes the stories, when they happened, kind of gets confused sometimes in your mind. You're like, I know that happened. I just can't remember if it was before or after this particular event. But it happened. And the important part is that it happened. Those little events that pile up, they're little snippets of God, little snippets of how people react, how people do. And they're all just it's all wisdom and knowledge. But we're reading to get to know God better, right? So these little things are about God. So what do we find out about God today is that he watches, he sees, he knows. Sometimes he interjects and tells people, hey, it's okay, it'll be fine, this is what's going to happen. And sometimes us as people interject our own little thoughts and feelings and say, well, maybe it meant to do this. So we do that. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe it was God's will, maybe it wasn't. All he's stating is that this will happen. Sometimes it's best just to let it work out. You know, not try to scheme and put things into place that you think this is what God wants, because it's contrary to what God wants for you. So that's something to consider. And then we also learn that God, he did show up and he told her, you know, he's comforter, right? He comforted Abram and he comforted Hagar. And so he's a comforter, you know, a reassurer. So to sit there and say, oh, he's mean and he doesn't care about humans. He's came down to deal with 2 people individually in this chapter. 2 separate people. That means something, you know? That means he cares about us individually. Is God big enough to understand each and every one of the however many billion people are on the planet and have a personal relationship with each and every single one of us? I couldn't do that job. He can. He can. He does. He sits right there every day, knows everything about us. So very cool. And if you're reading Proverbs, you know that he's counted every hair upon your head. He knew you while you were in the womb. This is why I'm going to push this point really hard. You gotta read Proverbs. You gotta, every day. Okay? Very important. And then it makes us smarter people. Don't forget our contest, right? Starbucks card. Spread it around, spread the news. You know, as many times as you comment, you get to enter. And if no one comments, it's okay. My buddy and I will split the gift card. We'll go to Starbucks. All right. So be good. Be a good neighbor. I hope you continue to grow in the Lord. I hope this excites you a little bit, get you interested in Him, so that you can develop your own personal relationship with you. A little long today. Sorry, folks. But I love you guys. I hope I get to come to know you. If not here on this planet, then at the very end with the big celebration supper. The last of the first of the last supper? I don't know, we just call it the big supper, you know. So, hope to see you there. All right? Have a great one. Bye.